We are gonna talk about Daemon Targaryen, the Rogue Prince. Prince Daemon Targaryen was younger son of Prince Balon Targaryen and a brother of King Viserys I Targaryen. Daemon was the most experienced warrior of his time and wielded the Valyrian steel, the Dark Sister, a dragon rider whose dragon was Caraxes. Daemon declared himself the king of Stepstones and Narrow Sea. For early life, Daemon was born as second son of Prince of Balon Targaryen and his sister wife Princess Alyssa Targaryen. During the reign of his grandfather, King Jaehaerys Targaryen, he had one older brother Viserys, whom we have seen in House of Dragon series. He also had one younger brother who had died when he was a child. Daemon was knighted at 16, and King Jaehaerys I Targaryen gave him the Dark Sister, the sword which was used in Aegon conquest. In 97 AC, that is after conquest of Aegon Targaryen, Daemon married Lady Rhea Royce, the heir of Ruinstone, but he disliked both her and the Vale of Arryn. Daemon referred to his wife as his bronze bitch. While deciding heir to the throne by Jaehaerys Targaryen, Daemon supported the claim of Prince Viserys as it would make Daemon their heir after his brother. Daemon gathered a small army of swan swords and men at arms when it was rumored that Lord Corlys Velaryon, the Lord of Fleet, was raiding a fleet to defend the right of his son Laenor Velaryon. So, what was the early reign of Viserys I? How was it like? Sir Christian Cole twice defeated Daemon in the tourney of the King Viserys I in 104 AC, which we have seen in first episode of House of the Dragon. Daemon asked his brother to set aside his marriage to Rhea Royce, but was refused. Daemon served briefly as Master of Coin and for 6 months. Governance bored Daemon, however, and the Prince's demeanor made him rival of Hand of the King, Sir Otto Hightower, who could not send Daemon's presence and had begged King Viserys to remove him from the small council. Otto Hightower hated Daemon Targaryen. Daemon was appointed commander of the City Watch, a position he thrived in and maintained for about a year, to Otto's regret. With 2,000 men at his command, these 2,000 men were loyal to Daemon Targaryen. Daemon inspired loyalty with many of the rank and file men of the City Watch, improving their arms and equipment. He gave every man a golden cloak, which led to guards becoming known as gold cloaks, which we have heard and seen in Game of Thrones series. During Daemon Targaryen as commander of City Watch, crime fell sharply under Daemon's command, likely due to his love of inflicting harsh punishment of thieves and cut purses. We have seen how gruesome Daemon could be in first episode of House of the Dragon. Daemon developed a dark reputation in the stews and brothels in Flea Bottom, becoming familiar to every cut purse, whore and gambler. He became acquainted with a prostitute named Mysaria, known to her enemy as Misery. While Daemon calling himself Prince of the City, he became to know as Lord Fleabottom amongst the residents of King's Landing. Daemon considered himself his brother's heir as Viserys had no living son, and he titled himself as Prince of Dragonstone, which the king refused to grant. Otto Hightower equally did not want Daemon to follow Viserys and proposed the idea that Viserys' daughter, Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen, should be named heir of the Viserys. It was all Otto Hightower doing, that the idea of crowning and making Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen as Viserys' heir. Cunning Otto Hightower. Viserys did not address the issue of inheritance, hoping a future son would settle the issue. Viserys' first wife, Emma Arryn, died birthing Balon Targaryen. That is Viserys' second son, when already the first son have died in the cradle. Balon died a day after his birth. However, Daemon was observed in brothel in the street of Silk, making drunken japes about the heir of a day, which you have also heard in House of the Dragon first episode. When word of this reached the grieving Viserys, one Targaryen, the enraged king had Rhaenyra declared her heir and Princess of Dragonstone in response to his ungrateful brother's empathy. The furious Daemon resigned from the Gold Cloaks and flew with Mysaria on Caraxes to Dragonstone and was not present for Rhaenyra's ceremony of being heir to the throne in the Red Keep. Living on Dragonstone, Daemon impregnated his lover Mysaria. He wanted to present her with a dragon egg, but the angry Viserys demanded that Daemon return the egg and return to Rhea in the Vale, which was Daemon's first wife. Daemon sent Mysaria to Lys, but Mysaria's ship sailed through a storm in the narrow sea and Mysaria lost a child. This hardened Daemon against his brother. How did Daemon conquest Stepstone? In 106 AC, Daemon and Corlys Velaryon, Lord of the Tides, allied together for a private war for the Stepstone, with Daemon desiring his own kingdom and Corlys wanting to rid the Stepstone of the rule by the Triarchy. While Corlys provided the Valyrian fleet, Daemon flew on the dragon Caraxes and led an army of adventurers and Second Son. Daemon made many enemies from Lys, Myr and Tyros and his slave Kragas Drahar in 108 AC. After conquering all but two of the island, Daemon declared himself king of the Stepstone and Narrow Sea in 101 AC, being crowned by the Corlys, the Snake Snake. The Triarchy launched a massive fleet under Racalio Rindon to retake the isle, and Don John joined the alliance against Daemon. So after the war at Stepstones, Daemon returned to the court to Viserys Targaryen. Bored with ruling his kingdom, Daemon returned to the capital of King's Landing during the tourney that gave the Greens and the Black the names. He reconciled with Viserys Targaryen by offering him his Stepstone crown. Viserys I Targaryen welcomed his brother's return and Daemon, who was given a seat on a small council. Neither age or exile had changed Daemon's nature. However, he took up again with old companion in the city watch and returned to the brothel on the street of Silk. Daemon was cold with Viserys' second wife, Queen Alicent Hightower, and her children who had pushed him further down in the line of succession. It was Otto Hightower who planned Alicent Hightower to be wife of Viserys Targaryen. Daemon spent hours in the company of his niece, Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen, praising her beauty, giving her gift, mocking her stepmother Alicent, and greens. Daemon gave her books, pearls, silks, and a tiara once owned by the Empress of Leng. Daemon and Rhaenyra often flew to Dragonstone on their dragons, Caraxes and Syrax. 6 months after Daemon's return, brothel fell out again, with Grandmaster Runseater referring to an unspecified quarrel and other claiming that Alicent wanted Daemon gone. Septon Eustace alleged that Daemon had seduced Rhaenyra, taking her maidenhood prior to the 16th name day, and that too had seen by Sir Eric Cargill of the Kingsguard. Eustace's tale has Rhaenyra expressing her love for Daemon, the notorious mushroom. Instead claimed that Daemon had been providing explicit lesson to the girl in how to seduce her champion, Sir Christian Cole of Kingsguard, whom the girl was supposedly in love with. So this mushroom was a dwarf of the King's Viserys Targaryen. When Rhaenyra approached Keystone, however, he rejected her. Lionel Strong, Lord of Harrenhal, counseled the Viserys that Daemon should be executed for treason. Septon Eustace, however, reminded the council about the taint of Kingslaying, and Daemon was exiled instead. Daemon returned to Bloodstone in the Stepstones and resumed his struggling over his barren kingdom. Second marriage of Daemon Targaryen. Daemon's first wife, Rhea Royce, the Lady of Vale, died from falling a horse in 115 AC, which was obviously done by the Daemon Targaryen, and he killed her. Daemon abandoned the Stepstone and flew to the Vale of Erin to claim Ruinstone, which had been Rhea's seat, but he was refused by House Royce. Sent away from the Vale by Lady Jane Arryn, Daemon turned to Driftmark, where he laid eye upon enchanting Lena Valerian, the daughter of his friend Lord Collis, and he asked the Snake for her hand in marriage. Lena was already betrothed to the son of late Sea Lord of Braavos, but Daemon killed the Braavosi with Dark's sister in a duel. The guy fight for his life for Lena Valerian. While singers say Daemon fell in love with Lena at first sight, the other state Daemon married into mighty House Valerian to check his own descendant from power, as he had been pushed far down in the line of succession by the Viserys Targaryen and made many enemies in his adventures. Because the marriage had been without the consent of King Viserys Targaryen, Daemon and Lena left Westeros from Essos. Mushroom, the dwarf from the small council of Viserys Targaryen, claimed the pair went to the ruins of Valyria, but more reliable sources indicate that they toured the free cities, visiting Pentos, Volantis, Qohor and Novos, which these cities we have seen in Game of Thrones when Daenerys Targaryen was across the Narrow Sea. Daemon Targaryen and Lena Valerian returned for some time to Pentos, where they had learned that Lena was pregnant, causing her the daughters Bela and Rhaena to be born in 116 AC. This character we have went through in House of the Dragon. When twins were half a year old, the family returned to Driftmark, and Daemon wrote his brother begging leave to present his daughter to court to receive a royal blessing. The small council advised the king to refuse, but Viserys told Grandmaster Melos, Daemon's his father now, he will change. But little did he know that Daemon will never change. Viserys' daughter, Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen, was wed to Lena's brother, Sir Lenor Valerian. While Rhaenyra disliked her stepmother, Queen Alicent Hightower, she became fond of Lena, and the two often flew together on their dragons. With the blessing of King Viserys, Rhaenyra betrothed her two eldest sons, Jaehaerys and Lucerys Valeria, to Bella and Rhaena. Lena died in 120 AC, the year of Red Spring, trying to birth a son who died as well. Later that year, Laenor was killed by Spicetown by his champion, Sir Khal Corey. According to many, it was Daemon who arranged the death of Laenor by paying Khal to kill him. Lionel Strong, Lord of Harrenhal, and his heir Sir Harwin died in fire at Harrenhal in 120 AC. This we have seen that Alicent Hightower conspired with Lord of Harrenhal's sons, the guy who has food fetish, to kill his own brother and his own father. Sir Harwin Breakbones, who believed by some have to be the actual father of Rhaenyra's children and Lenor's, that is Jaehaerys, Lucerys and Joffrey Valerian. Septon Eustace have counted Daemon as one of the possible suspects of mysterious fire. Daemon's Targaryen third marriage. In 120 AC, that is 120 after the Aegon's conquest, at the age of 39, Daemon married again, this time to his niece Rhaenyra Targaryen, a 23-year-old princess of Dragonstone. This marriage was performed suddenly without the knowledge of King Viserys Targaryen and was scandalous since neither Lena nor Valerian, previous husband, has been dead for 6 months. Daemon and Rhaenyra had two sons together, Prince Aegon the Younger born in 120 AC and Prince Viserys, which we have seen in House of the Dragon series. In 126 AC, Rhaenyra urged the ill lord Corlys Velaryon to name as his heirs her second son, Lucerys Velaryon. Since the Laenor was killed by the Khal, no one was there except for the Corlys brother to second the heir of the sea. And we know how it got ended. Since Corlys' nephew Sir Waymond Valerian objected and claimed that Rhaenyra's first three children have been fathered by Sir Harwin Strong, Rhaenyra and Waymond seized by the Daemon, beheaded, and that fed to Syrax. And that was the time when Daemon said he can keep his tongue. So now we come to the next chapter of Daemon Targaryen life, the Dance of the Dragon. King Viserys Targaryen died in 129 AC, leading to the outbreak of civil war called the Dance of the Dragon. While Viserys had previously decreed Daemon's wife Rhaenyra Targaryen, Princess of Dragonstone, to be his heir, the Greens kept the king's death a secret from Dragonstone. Sir Otto Hightower, the father of Queen Alicent Hightower, objected to the idea of Daemon as king consort, and Christian Cole claimed that Rhaenyra and Daemon would turn the Red Keep into the brothel. Christian crowned Alicent's son, Aegon the Elder, as King Aegon II Targaryen. So, different from the web series, House of the Dragon series, we can see the Sir Christian Cole has a very major role in crowning King Aegon Targaryen, and it was idea of Sir Otto Tower and Christian Cole to crown the King Aegon II Targaryen. Meanwhile, on Dragonstone, Rhaenyra gave birth to stillborn daughter Princess Visenya. Rhaenyra blamed the child's death to the Green. During the meeting of the Black Council, Daemon advised that the Blacks should court the great houses who had not yet announced their support for the Aegon II. During Rhaenyra's rival coronation on Dragonstone, Daemon placed the crown of King Jaehaerys Targaryen, which had been smuggled by the capital Sir Stephen Draklyn, on the head of his wife, proclaiming her claim as queen and claiming himself as protector of the realm. This scene we have seen in the House of the Dragon when one of the King's Guard sent the crown of Jaehaerys to the Daemon Targaryen. The experience Daemon led to the assault of Harrenhal, capturing the ruined castle from the governor of the castle, Sir Simon Strong, without conflict by the landing Caraxes on the top of Kingspire Tower. Daemon's victory allowed the Riverland to rise up in support of Rhaenyra. Daemon later led the taking of Stonehenge from the Kings. So now the Daemon has conquered Harrenhal as well as the Riverland. After hearing the death of his stepson, Princess Lucerys Velaryon, at the hand of his nephew Prince Aemon Targaryen at the Storm's End, Daemon, through his former mistress Mysaria, hired a blood and cheese to infiltrate the Red Keep and the two murdered Princess Jaehaerys, a son of Aegon II. So Prince Jaehaerys we have seen in the 9th episode of House of the Dragon. We see a bastard son in a city when Sir Christian Cole was searching for the Aegon II. The enemies made by the Daemon during his earlier adventure came back to haunt the Blacks when Sir Otto Hightower, now the hand of the King Aegon II, recruited the Triarchy to send a fleet against them. This Triarchy was from the Stepstones. The Battle of Gullet broke the Valyrian blockade of Blackwater Way and killed Daemon's stepson Jaehaerys. Daemon abandoned Harrenhal when Aemond and Christian began marching on the great castle with the host of Greens. Instead, Daemon flew Caraxes back to the capital and assisted Rhaenyra with the fall of King's Landing to the Blacks. Daemon's lover, Mysaria, became the mistress of Whisperer in all but name, while Lord Corlys Valerian suggested peace with their enemy and pardon for the Green. Rhaenyra and Daemon were more vengeful. Rhaenyra sent Daemon and Nettles on their dragons Caraxes and Ship Stealers to search the Trident for Aemond and the Vega, who were burning the Riverlands. The Nettles was a dragon rider found by the Daemon. Making Maidenpool their base, Daemon kept Nettles, a 17-year-old dragon seed, by his side at all times. Despite the fact that the low-born Nettles was an unlikely paramour for the prince, Daemon came to love the girl and took her at his bedmate. Though this veracity is often questionable, many consider this to be more likely than most of his tales. Many also say that the prince and his bastard girl slept in adjoining bedroom, but they ate together each night and morning. Norren wrote that the Daemon doted up Nettles as a man might dote upon his daughter, and described Daemon teaching her common courtesies and giving her fine gifts such as ivory hairbrush, a silver looking glass, a velvet and satin cloak, and leather riding boots. Norren's father wrote that Daemon showed Nettles how to wash her properly and recorded that maidservant reported they often share a single tub washing each other. Mushroom was a dwarf who served as fool at the court of Viserys Targaryen, Aegon II Targaryen, Rhaenyra Targaryen, and Aegon III Targaryen. After the betrayal of two dragon seed, Sir Hugh Hammer and Sir Ulf White at the first battle of Tumbleton, Queen Rhaenyra's court at the Red Keep was outraged. These two King's Guard betrayed Rhaenyra Targaryen at the Red Keep. Sir Hammer and Sir White betrayed Rhaenyra, and Lady Mysaria fed Rhaenyra's growing distrust on the dragon seed, informing her that the Nettle was sharing Daemon's bed and saying that she would soon be pregnant with Daemon's bastard. Rhaenyra's rage, declaring that the Nettles used spell to bond with Sheep Stealer and to seduce her husband, and that Daemon could not be relied upon while in the girl's thrall. The queen sent a raven to Manfred Mouton, a lord of Maidenpool, ordering him to deliver Nettle's head, but not to do Daemon any harm, only to tell him to return to the capital. However, according to Master Norren, Manfred and his advisor, fearful of how Daemon slept beside Nettles, unwilling to kill a guest or a young girl, disobeyed the king and followed a master's advice to pretend that they had never received the letter. When Master Norren informed Daemon that Rhaenyra had declared Nettles a traitor, Daemon sadly replied, "A queen's word, a whore's work," recognizing Mysaria's hand in Rhaenyra's word, and thanked the master for the warning. It is unknown how they spent their last night together, but at dawn, Daemon helped Nettles saddle Sheep Stealer one last time before she escaped into the morning mist of the Boy of Traps. According to Norren, no word of farewell was spoken between Daemon and Nettles. The Caraxes let out a scream that shattered all the windows of the tower. On the same day, Daemon publicly announced his departure for Harrenhal. The arrival of Daemon on Caraxes sent Squatter fleeing from Harrenhal, so the prince awaited for the Aemond in solitude. Each evening at dusk, he slashed the castle's heart tree, a weirdwood, and in the God's Wood. On the 14th day of Daemon's waiting, Aemond arrived on Vhagar with his paramour Ellis River. While two dragons grappled in the battle above the God's Eye, Daemon leaped from his saddle and drove Dark Sister into Aemond's blind eye. Both dragons crashed into the God's Eye, with Caraxes crawling to the shore before dying. The bodies of Aemond and Vhagar were discovered in the lake years later. Daemon's body was not found, but historians are convinced he died there as well. Do you think that Daemon could have survived this battle, killing Vhagar and Aemon Targaryen? Do let me know in the comments.